minutes ago.
14 minutes late.
Yeah.
So usually even I get a notification.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you get one?
Actually, no, I got a notification from Donut. So something's going on with Facebook because he said your show's coming through good this morning. Now it keeps recycling the first few minutes.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
That's wild.
That is wild.
So the book of face is losing face.
Mm.
So let's see what happens. Are we even...
Musk didn't take over, did he?
Elon Musk has bought Facebook. Everything is screwed. All right. So looks like we're... I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I know we're there. I mean, we're... But notifications are going out very, very late. Mary Beth goes, yes. Anyway, the question was, can anybody hear me? So she just, yes. I knew she knew what the question was.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Huh?
Can you hear me now? That's the right question. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. So anyway, good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Chris is not with us today. He was supposed to be joining us, but couldn't make it. So then we had another young lady that was supposed to join us, and she no-showed. So this is a great day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Facebook sending out notifications 15 minutes late.
Yep.
After you go.
And broken earphones.
And I got broken earphones. So
and it's like we did.
Anything else?
It didn't start off well at all.
Let's see. Good morning, Court. Good morning, Mary Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. So what were you saying now? We beat to death the whole Brittany Griner thing.
Yeah, I think there's so many opinions on that. It's a lot of positive, a lot of negative. We talk about the Marine, so we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but she's home. She's an American citizen. I hope that she changes her attitude and she appreciates what America did for her, and that she'll show some respect. And we'll see what happens.
Didn't you say that something about in the media this morning that she's actually being heralded a little bit?
No, I didn't say that.
What did you say? You said there's more positive. There's a lot of positive.
There is a lot of positive. I even read an article yesterday that the parents of the Marine that's held, they did not. They were positive about her bringing her home. They did not write anything negative because, hey, how come he's, how come she's home and not my son?
Yeah. Well, welcome home, Brittany Griner. Yeah.
So, I mean, what she does going forward, and how she treats the U.S. will probably might change some people.
Do you think that'll change things in a big way across the board? Now, didn't the whole thing started with Colin Kaepernick?
Correct.
Okay, with I'm not going to stand or whatever, I'm going to kneel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
For the national anthem and stuff.
Yeah, it started off a couple of years ago in the WNBA where they were actually kneeling when the national anthem was played. And then the last 2 years, what they do is they walk off the court. They don't stay on the court for the national anthem. They walk off. And then when it goes back, when it's over, they walk back on the floor. Okay. We'll see how it's going to change. This has been, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people were very disappointed. And I think that they lost a lot of WNBA lost a lot of fans as a result of that. I know some people personally that screw them. I'm not going to re-up again because of that, and the disrespect that they did. So
Laura says it worked this time. What do you mean worked this time with bringing her home and changing the outlook? Is that what you meant by that? I don't I don't wish or wanted her to crash and burn in a Russian gulag.
No, of course not. Nobody,
right?
Nobody did.
You didn't. You
No.
didn't want that, of course.
I think.
However,
I think a lot of people's attitude would have been a lot different if it wasn't the disrespect for the flag that went on prior to this whole Russian thing happening.
And it was the flag that brought her home.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people's minds would have been, they would have really felt more sorry for her than what's going on now.
Right. So a lot of people, talked about, they've had a lot of negativity against Joe Biden and whatever, since he started his presidency, because, inflation and things have just gone really awry. Do you think that this act right here could have one hell of a ripple effect and change things? Because think about it. Colin Kaepernick, when he did it first, it set off a ripple effect, to other things happening in the world. And next thing you know, we are where we are, where, like you had said, athletes are walking off of the court.
Right.
So now when you service an athlete and rescue them, same athlete that would go ahead and not stand for the national anthem or walk off the court. Yeah. Do you think now this changes it? Does this change the game? And does this become more of a better USA? Or do you think it's just going to be, thanks, I'm home, I'm still going to walk off the court?
I hope it's the latter. I really do. I kind of hope that that the disrespect for the flag not standing or not being there will change their mind, because she came home.
Okay.
And that next year when they play, that they'll stay out there for the flag. But we'll have to wait to find out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, time's only going to tell what's going to happen. But it's not just the WNBA. A lot of the other.
No, I just use that for an example.
I know,
because you're a WNBA fan and you go to the games. You're a season ticket holder or were.
I have one more year to go.
See, you told me last year you were done.
I honestly, I was done, but my wife wanted to go one more year. So
broadcasting.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
So that's the only reason why we're
going.
Oh,
Paul.
But what can I say? That's just.
All right. Well, no.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I just hope,
you enjoy women's basketball, so you should be able to enjoy it, regardless of whatever political belief you have.
Right. Now, was I ticked off at him? Yeah, I was upset with them because they were. But my generation is different.
Yeah.
But a lot of younger generations don't care.
No, see, I would still go if I like the sport, just because they're whatever their beliefs is. I don't care. But if they're playing a game and I enjoy watching the game, then I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I honestly, Colin Kaepernick and his views, didn't affect me.
No,
and I think it affected a lot of people, and that's where you had the ripple effect.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna do what he does.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. I just hope that she appreciates what the country did for her, and that somehow she uses her celebrity status to do something to whatever.
Well, she's a bigger name than the WNBA ever made her. She's a bigger name now than then.
Now everybody knows who she is.
Oh, sure, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
I hope they do something to get this Marine out and just don't drop the ball.
Mm.
Don't drop the ball on that guy.
I just think that the business of the trade, I think there should have been, I think you should have a 2-for-1 for what they got.
Well, we're weak. They know. The Russians and the Chinese know this country has a weak leadership.
Okay.
The country has no leaders. None. We have a leader that doesn't, half the time, probably doesn't know when he wakes up in the morning. And they know that. So they're going to take it and walk all over him. So they don't care. So, I mean, look what's happening. Since this guy's come into office, you got Korea now, North Korea shooting missiles threatening the U.S.
Oh, they've been doing that for years.
No, not so much when our previous president was in. They kind of like calmed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he was stern. And they knew that he was stern. This guy's too weak. He's very weak. He's going to walk all over us. And they know it.
Okay.
So, but we don't want to get into this political crap. If he's home, it's over. We'll see what happens.
Richard puts, would the country even know our name if we were convicted in Russia for the same thing? So if Paul Lash goes through a security in a Russian airport and you're found to have THC oil, whatever this stuff is,
I'd be in jail for the next 20 years.
Okay, right. So
yeah,
that's a good point. And I think we've been saying that right along.
Yeah, it depends on who you are.
It depends on who you are.
Celebrities always think that they're entitled.
Okay.
All of them. They get arrested. Oh, I'm such and such. I'm a movie star, so therefore take it easy on me. They know who they are, so they expect to be treated different in California when they get arrested. How many have been arrested?
True. True. Very, very true.
There's been a lot of them that get stopped and who I am. It's like, who gives a crap? Just not just celebrities. You got politicians. The same thing. They pulled out I'm a U.S. senator, so treat me like this.
Well, my uncle it doesn't just go there, but my uncle, Rob, was a Cranston cop and detective for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, I remember one day he was coming out to our house for dinner, him and my aunt, and they were on East Main Street. This is back when Jewett City had a police department. Matter of fact, it was about the last time I saw him too, I think. He was driving on East Main Street and got pulled over.
Yeah.
He was doing, he came in, he was chuckling about it. And I said, "What's so funny, Uncle Rob?" He goes, "Well, I was doing 50 and a 25 and got pulled over." I said, "So the cop got a ticket?" He goes, "Well, no."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh." I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, let's just say they extended a little professional courtesy."
Yeah.
Because I guess he took out his wallet and there's his badge
of course.
right there. So.
Of course, that's what they do. Absolutely.
But that was back then.
Yeah.
Now they're just not going to stop you.
No.
It's like, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way it is. If you have a lot of money and you're well known, you're going to get away with a lot of crap. If you're just a peon like a lot of people, you're going to be buried.
If you and I are we're going to the Huskow.
Absolutely.
For a long time.
Yep.
Working on the chain gang.
Yep.
Smashing rocks with a mallet.
That would be it. Yep. That's a definite fact. So, yep. But, but she played for the U.S. in the Olympics and all the other crap. But, well, who knows? Will people be talking about this for the next several months?
Well, they got to give them something to talk about.
Whether you want to hear.
Was there anything to talk about lately?
Well,
Hunter Biden's laptop.
Well, they'd be patting themselves on the back for what they did.
Yeah.
To get her out and blah blah blah, and a lot of people now are going to love him because he did that. He didn't do crap, but more votes.
Got it.
Got it.
So what's going to be next? What's going to be the next thing?
I don't know.
Donald Trump on Love Connection. Yes.
Wow. You happy with that new keyboard you got?
No, I don't know.
Oh, God. Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Oh,
that's right. You are now. I'm giving you the 1-year subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see my boss over here wrapped up in a ribbon so I could tell him what I really think about him.
You remember Muttley the dog? That wheezy laugh?
Man, you got some sound effects there.
I don't know.
Wow.
It's goofing off. Well, we kind of condensed the studio a little bit. As you can see, we have a smaller yet more it's got a lot more functionality to it. You know, it helps the sound better too. So
that's natural. Did you
actually
audition for that?
That actually was me.
I believe it.
That was actually me.
I believe it.
That is something that I recorded that a long time ago.
Have you got a taste for it?
Huh? I'm sorry, but I did, you know.
Oh my
That was heavenly. It was absolutely heavenly.
Wow.
Oh, there.
That one doesn't work.
But that one does.
Hey, give yourself a hand.
All right, Facebook user. Facebook user says, fine, I will say it. This deal would have never been done with Trump in office, nor would Putin even try it. North Korea was also kept in check with our last president because he had a backbone.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. We have a president right now that has no backbone. No. None. He's weak.
Facebook user, identify yourself, please.
Yeah, he's weak. And we got 2 more years of weakness. So, you're kind of afraid what the hell's going to happen next.
Sean McFadden. There he is. See, you don't do it. I can find out.
Yeah. You
Sean.
don't know what's going to happen next with this guy. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Do you think we're going to have a major catastrophe? A worldwide catastrophe?
I'm afraid because this guy here sometimes doesn't know what the hell he's saying. He doesn't. He says things that, he talks to people that are dead.
Mm-hmm.
He says things that, the last thing I read, he was raised by a Puerto Rican family. Did you hear that one?
No, I never heard that.
Hard to believe he was raised by a Puerto Rican family. That's what he said.
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know, but he was talking about that because he was in a neighborhood where there were Puerto Rican people.
So?
And he was saying he was raised by a Puerto Rican family. I didn't think I thought Joe Biden had a family. I didn't realize he'd be raised by,
But who cares?
Well, that's
what does that got to do with anything?
Apparently he does. But I'm just saying, those are the things he says that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
I can tell you about the ethnic background of all my cousins, but that doesn't mean anything.
But I don't think he really was, he's saying things that aren't really true. Sometimes I think his wife sits there and goes, "Oh God, what's he saying now?" Come on. How would you feel? You're standing there and, ooh,
I do not. I don't believe he should be president just because of what is it? It must have like something like sundowners or something.
He's on medication for dementia. I did hear that. He's taking medication to help curb some of his dementia. That's what I had heard. Yeah.
Not all of it, apparently.
Well, no, because
they're leaving a little bit just for us to keep guessing.
I'm not sure that the medicine will totally, cure it.
Sad.
I don't think so, because it's just going to get worse. He's not going to run in 24. Impossible.
Of course he's not, but we've talked about that before, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
If he says he's not going to run,
he says he is. He says, yeah.
Of course he's going to say.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to say that he is.
Yeah. But, who the hell knows?
If you say, you know what, I'm not going to run next year or next term. Well, then your whole party's a lame duck. Your administration's a lame, you're done.
Yeah. No. I don't think Kamala Harris is going to be his VP. They're going to get rid of her.
McFadden says, what he means, Mike, is that Biden, he's a bag of cookies short of a Happy Meal. Hey, Brenda, good morning from Minnesota. That's the Bonger. Brenda Bongs. It's the Bonger. Where the hell you been? You've been like MIA. Everybody say hello to the Bonger.
Oh.
That's the Bonger.
So the other thing I read the other day was that there were two newly elected House representatives that want to get rid of prisons. How's that? Now, how stupid is that? And when they got elected. They got elected, and now they want to get rid of prisons.
Where are they going to put the really bad people?
Probably in your backyard. But that's the mentality that we have out there. I says, what are you nuts? The good thing that the House is controlled. There were 2 Dems, by the way.
Again, I hate that. I hate that. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm saying,
Well, they're 2 libertarians. So what?
but
They both have effed up views.
the good thing about it is that the majority, it wouldn't happen because they're not part of the majority. So they
Yeah,
can
but-
bring it up all they want.
I know, but you're saying that's what I mean. I mean, it's like, well, they're Democrats. So I don't. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's just that they were Democrats. Just saying.
But why do we have to bring that up?
Well, what am I going to say? They were 2 people?
Yeah,
All right, do it 2
they're
people.
2 representatives.
2 people.
Doesn't matter what party they're from.
All right, 2 people.
It's just like saying, Biden was raised by a Puerto Rican family. So what? Big deal. What does that have to do with anything? Good for him, because maybe he learned a little bit more of a different culture.
I don't believe he ever was.
It doesn't matter, but
It does, because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
well, that's a different story
That's all I was making the
altogether.
point. That's all they were saying. He says things that don't make any sense.
Right?
And what I'm afraid of that
I would have loved to have lived with
Well,
a Puerto
I'm afraid
Rican
of-
family. First of all, they can cook,
yeah.
and you learn a different culture. You learn a different way. I think that would be awesome.
That's fine, but that's not true.
Hey,
He's
Nanaya.
saying things he's not true. I hope he doesn't have the numbers to the buttons. You think he'd be dialing a phone and all of a sudden he shoots off a friggin' rocket.
Come on, Don. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Hey, what is this thing we got sitting on my desk? Oh, look at that.
Hey, this is flashy red.
Oh man, let me just push a
Let's
couple
check
buttons.
that out.
Shut the
Whoa.
button. Oh my god.
Oh, what the hell is that?
I know.
Why is this guy lit up?
That's what I mean. It scares you.
Oh, I think I did a bad thing.
Did I do that?
No, Sean, I am getting his point. I do understand the point. I just don't like to, go through the whole Democrat Republican thing.
Yeah.
I don't. I think there are idiots on both sides of the coin.
Oh, absolutely. I don't
And
disagree.
there are people that are good intentioned on both sides of the coin.
No, I don't disagree. The other thing that bothers me is a lot of these politicians have been in for 30, 40 years,
Mhm.
and we were doing fine. For all of the people, all the presidents we had, all of a sudden we have one that doesn't know what's going on. Look at all the changes that are happening. What the hell?
Okay.
What happened?
Let me ask you this on a local level.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a red wave, not this
Nah,
year,
it didn't
the
work.
year before.
Year before.
Okay. For the local elections, right?
Mhm.
Republicans for days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
From everything that we know, okay. I mean, take our personal feelings or anything which have nothing to do with it out of it.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are happy or dissatisfied with what's happening in the town of Griswold with a Republican dominated regime, I guess you could say?
I think some people are probably not. It's not
So what I asked, do you think as a whole, we are happy or dissatisfied? That's very general and saying, oh yeah, well, I think some people are. Well, of course, some people are. But what is your opinion as far as, do you think as a whole people are happy or people are not?
I mean, there's some disgruntled things being said by some people.
As a whole,
As a whole, there are
do you
some
think that we are happy?
You're not
or-
going to get me to go down that road.
Who cares? I think they're unhappy. I mean, I'm going to say it. I got no problem talking about it.
No.
What are they going to do to you, Paul? Nothing.
I realize that, but I'm not going to get into the whole political thing.
You don't know where I'm going with this. but trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
That's you.
You've been here. What? How many years you've been doing this
Yeah,
with me? Trust me.
trust me. Yeah.
He's scared.
I don't,
All right, we'll go with mine. I feel that the general consensus is that people are not happy with what's going on in the town of Griswold on many different fronts.
Well, I think you're right.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who are upset.
Now let's look at Plainfield.
Yeah.
Do you think that people in Plainfield are happy or dissatisfied with their Republican leadership?
Well, there are some people that are happy with it, but there are some people that are not happy with all the decisions.
As a whole, do you think the general consensus in Plainfield is that they are happy or dissatisfied with Kevin Cunningham being the first selectman in the town of Plainfield?
I think a lot of people are happy because of the fact there's a lot of stuff going on and it's not being impacted. There's a lot of good things happening.
Okay.
But there are also things happening that some people are not happy with. I can tell you right now, the big park.
I understand that.
The big park that's proposed in there that is being pushed by the selectmen is not well received by a lot of people.
Okay.
So
my point was, if you're in a voting poll, you can't write, well, some people are happy, some people are not.
Right.
So you're in a voting poll.
I will vote for whoever I think is right.
Okay, so you're a Plainfield resident.
Yeah.
All right, let's just say that right now.
Okay.
And you got to go in a midterm poll and you got to say, I'm happy or I'm not. Which way do you vote?
Well, you're going to vote towards the happy one.
There you go. My point is in this whole thing, which I asked you to trust me on.
I couldn't.
See, is that it doesn't matter the political party. This is what I don't think people understand. We can sit here and go, yay, Trump 2024, yay, MAGA, whatever. Yeah. You can do that, but you can go from town to town and you're going to have people that are happy or they're not.
Correct.
That's my whole point. And, people go, they're far right or they're far left. No, guess what? Both parties have good points and both parties screw up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't disagree. And I am neither one.
And I'm not missing the point.
I am neither a Democrat or a Republican. I choose to do what I want to do. I don't want one of those parties telling me what to do.
Right. I'm not. That's why I was saying, trust me. The whole thing was about
trust me. I understand.
You know what I mean? You have two towns with the same that are led by the same party.
Yeah.
One's happy. I do not feel that the town of Griswold right now is happy with a lot of
and
I'm talking about town hall.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about town hall. I'm not talking about, and Mary Beth has nothing to do. I'm not talking about the Board of Education or anything like that. I'm talking about town hall.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the town. I'm not talking about the borough. You got to be specific with that because there's so many moving parts here.
I'm already there. I can talk about the Board of Education. I'm in deep shit with them anyway. So
what, the Board of Ed?
Yeah, they don't like me because my.
Yeah, well, I don't like you for your opinion either. So I mean,
but I just think that Plainfield was in the right place at the right time. They've had a lot of opportunity come into that town as a result of things that have happened. We've been behind the 8 ball for a long time.
Yeah.
We're always late, the dollar short, unfortunately. It's not necessarily the responsibility of who's at the town hall. It just happens to be that a new person came in or they go in and out of there. That's the issue. We've been behind the 8 ball for many years.
Right.
And, we had an opportunity coming and then wham, I know you're going to say COVID, but
me? No,
but I think I
went to work.
Yeah. That kind of hurt us because we were going really moving right along. And then all of a sudden, and now we have inflation coming in, cost of money is not cheap. It's just, we're right behind the 8 ball again, where we're going to be again late in a dollar short.
So I do want to mention a comment to you. You know what? We do need to put another TV up so you can read them too.
You get an iPad and put down so people.
Don't you have an iPad?
I can't use. My wife uses it. No.
Anyway, Mary Beth, who is the chairwoman of the Board of Education, And I did say right now, I said, this what we're talking about has nothing about the board.
Yeah.
But going back to your beliefs about, you said the Board of Education doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mary Beth, who's in here, who is the board, she says, you're absolutely right. You are scum. No. No, she says, please do not say the Board of Ed does not like you. We have never said that.
I know they never did.
And then,
Yeah.
and she goes, we fully understand everyone's opinions. Bottom line is we respect your opinion.
Yeah.
And you know what? Personally, I believe her. I believe because Mary Beth and I have not always agreed on stuff.
No,
Sean McKenna and I have not always agreed on stuff.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But I fully respect them for what the job they do. So
yeah. I just hope in the future that things turn around and things start to happen here. I was, love to see something happen where things start to get development, and we saw the data centers and all that stuff. We were, oh man, we're thrilled. These things are going to come in and bring us money. And what happened?
Well,
not saying they're not coming, but again, we're late.
One of the largest entities, in the town of Griswold that bring revenue into town is the Board of Ed from sending town students. Now that money right there. So the Board of Education budget is an expenditure budget only. Okay. There's no,
don't hold
up.
Go ahead.
You don't let me finish. You already got me. You're already going negative on me.
No, I'm not. Go
negative
ahead.
Nelly.
Go ahead.
When it comes to the field and everything with all the revenue that they do bring in, I don't think they get credit for the revenue that they do bring in.
Well, true.
Because see, you were about ready to chomp on me.
Because what you said is they're the biggest revenue maker.
I said they're one of. I did not say
the biggest resident. The resident,
American Industries.
The residents are paying the bill.
I understand that, but also you got American Industries, who is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Griswold Public Schools with all of their employees?
But they're not. But they're residents.
Okay, they're still
the
taxpayers.
Residents are, other than American Industry,
yeah,
which is one of our biggest, I guess you can say, one of the biggest businesses around.
Yeah.
Other than them, it's the residents in the town.
Right, but I'm talking about businesses or organizations that pump money into the town.
There's not a lot of them,
but
that's the problem.
Griswold Public Schools is one.
Yeah, but they turn around and they get their money back.
Well, of course, because they have to operate. But I'm
correct, but they operate, but they don't operate on their own money alone.
Yeah,
they still get money from the town.
Do you operate on your own money alone?
The residents still pay some money for the school budget. They can't.
Yeah.
If they could afford to pay their own way, then they should just break away and have their own budget. Let them live off of their own money.
They do have their own budget.
Paul, but they don't make enough money to support the complete school system, is what I'm saying.
Paul, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What would it be like, or what do you think would happen? And this is something that I've never asked Mary Beth or anybody. What would happen if all the money they received every year from sending town students, which is a growing, which is a growing business, you can call it a business or whatever. If the Board of Education, if that money stayed with the Board of Education, what would happen?
I don't know.
See, we don't know because
they can. I don't have a problem with them keeping their money,
because the money that comes in from the board, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, because the money that comes in from sending towns goes to it's a line item on the town's budget.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can bitch about the town budget too, saying, "Wait a minute, why are we paying all this? You got all this money from the Board of Education."
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. The money that they're getting that money back because there's a school budget.
So is the
and
town.
The school budget comes out of the town.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot solely stand alone on the money that they bring in from out of town students.
And neither can the town.
Yes, they can. The town doesn't rely on that money coming out of the schools to survive.
then
they
give
do?
it. Then give it back.
Give it back to the
Then give it
that's
back.
because the way the budgets are set up.
Then give it back.
They give what back?
Look, you just said the town can survive. All right, then give the Board of Education their
They get
money,
the money
back.
I don't know why. That's just the way that the budgets are set up, that the money goes back into the town fund. But then the money turns around from the town fund and goes back to the school.
So Victoria, who's Victoria, of course, right? And she's also a member of the Board of Education in Sterling, says your tuition rate isn't high enough to cover your school expenses.
That's the
right. But she also goes on to say tuition should be a line item on the school budget.
yeah.
But because it's an expenditure budget only,
That's just the way that the budgets are set up. I don't have a problem with, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If the school makes money, let them keep it.
right?
And that would offset
So
the money
let's
to
swap
town.
dollars. All we're doing is we're swapping dollars right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Comes in and goes
So let's
back.
say the money goes back, right?
Huh.
Do people have a harder time or an easier time with the field?
Wait a minute.
Because the school now gets credit for they get no credit for their money. They get zero. They get zero credit. So that budget they put together every year
Yeah.
is expenditures only. They don't get credit for the
That's
money
just
they're
the way
bringing in.
That's the way they set it up. I don't have a problem with
Let's say they do. Okay, let's say they do. Let's see that money just stays right on the Board of Education budget, right?
Fine.
Do people at that point have, that maybe negative about the multi-purpose field that
Probably
they're
not.
looking there? That's my point.
But what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with that. Let them keep their money.
This isn't about you, Paul.
They can have their money. I
This
don't
isn't
give a
about you.
damn.
This is about you're a jackass today. I
You're
swear to
just
God.
I'm
I'm gonna have a stroke today because of you.
yeah.
No, the point is that they don't get credit for the money that they bring in. Okay. So let's say you're out selling matchsticks, like the little match boy at Christmas time, right? And you're out there selling them for a penny. And you got to give all the proceeds to your father because he said, get out there and sell. What do you get out of the deal? Nothing.
Change the budgets around. Let them keep the
Let
money.
him keep the money.
Let them keep the money, and then the town offsets whatever they need.
Let's see. Mary Beth says we set tuition rate to be mindful of other towns, and we set our rate comparing rates of other districts. This is why we have 7 tuition towns and great working relationships.
Yeah.
Then she goes, tuition does not go to the school; it goes to the town to offset our budget.
Right. So in turn, it comes back in, and they're actually getting credit for it going back.
So why don't they just?
I think
It's
confusing.
confusing.
It's the budget process. It's the way the budget process is set up in town.
We can change
That's the
it.
problem.
It's a stroke of the pen.
You talk to the finance board. They're the ones that determine how the budgets are broken apart. They should keep their money. I don't have a problem with them keeping them. If they earned it, they should keep it.
So if they don't get money from the Board of Education and that stays with them, guess what? The mill rate goes up.
Not necessarily. It just means that the amount of money being sent back to the school won't be as high
But
because of the fact that
the town
already
mill
have
rate
money.
goes down, goes up, where the budget for the Board of Ed goes down.
it would go down because you
Right.
get offset.
You're swapping dollars.
I mean, I don't know why that happens. I'm not a budget guy. I have no idea.
it's just plus and minuses,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
just
all
the way
that
that they
is.
decided to do it. I mean, nothing we can do about that.
But I guess it's perception.
Yeah.
It's perception.
Well, you're probably right. A lot of people don't realize that the money that they take in for tuitions goes back into the town. And when they see the town budget, they don't realize that all of that money going to the school is not necessarily the town's money. It's actually
Right.
money that the school earns. So, if they made $500 and we give them 1,000, well, everybody thinks we're giving them $1,000, but in reality, we're giving them 500. You're right. A lot of people don't understand that process. And that's why a lot of people probably get upset as a result of why we're giving so much money to school. So maybe if it was fixed, maybe people would really upset.
I gave you an appropriate background, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No.
Court. Do not forget that debt repayment is on the municipal side of the budget.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I put Walter behind you.
Oh, thank you.
He's your idol.
He looks like Joe. You ever see the stuff they're doing with him now? It's like Joe.
He does look like Joe
They
Biden, doesn't
do
he?
a nice job with that one. Yeah. Yeah. So, what else you're going to drag me into? You're trying to get me to.
I'm not trying to drag you in anything. I'm just
Yeah.
debating you.
Fine. So we both understand each other now.
I always understood you.
Yeah.
You just get bitchy with me.
No, I don't get
Yes, you
bitchy. I just
do.
try to bring you into reality.
Not always. Not always, dude.
Mm.
I think you just get mad. You do. You just get mad.
No.
Especially when somebody else has a point. You're kind of funny because it's like when somebody else has a point or even part of a point.
No, I'm thinking.
You'll fight it.
No, I'm thinking of the point. I don't
it.
fight them all. I just have to think what you're saying.
Think,
You know,
think.
I just try to bring you back into a little reality. That's all.
I'm not in La La Land.
Yes, well, sometimes you are in La La Land. You know, you think you can just spend, and you can't do that.
No, I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'm throwing ideas out there to see what other people think.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
So I'm gonna, like, for me.
Now what are you gonna throw out there?
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
That with myself, in my own way of life, and how I feel about the multi-purpose field. See, I always played sports.
Yep.
I always wished that Griswold, as a kid, had better facilities. To play football.
Well, when you played football, the facilities were fairly new, right?
No.
How old were they?
Very old, because they're
very old now, so they couldn't have been that very, very old.
Okay, so let me start again, Paul.
Okay.
And take into consideration, my high school was the middle school now. So our football field is where the soccer field is. Okay, so you kind of jumped on to conclusions there.
Well, but so the football field was in front on the roads. Is that what?
The high school wasn't there.
Yeah,
it was woods.
Yeah, and you probably walked to school in the snow and didn't have any school buses.
We did. We had school buses, but we walked to school in the snow.
Yeah, what were they, Model A's?
They all ran on electric.
No, they all ran by horse and cart.
But no, we had the football field, which is now the soccer field.
So
the field that's out there now is 30, 35 years old.
So the football field that's there now is 35 years old.
Yeah, 30, 35, right around there. I don't know the exact, maybe 32.
Yeah.
When did they replace the tanks?
I have no idea, because I did not live in
it. Was a couple years ago. They was it right before COVID?
I don't know.
That they replaced the oil tanks, or they went to gas?
They did it when they did the gas conversion.
That was at the 30-year point, I believe.
That was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say 33 years, just to give or take a year or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know how old the field was when I think it was always there.
Yeah.
Maybe since Riverside School or whatever. Maybe 30 years, maybe about the same. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But I always, and then as I got older, I'm thinking, boy, Little League field, and it had nothing to do with Griswold Public Schools, but Little League field looks like crap. There's just, everything was getting dilapidated and it just didn't look good. And the fields were bad. There was no upkeep and whatever. Yeah. Now, John Henn does an amazing job with what he's working with.
Yeah.
The fields have no drainage. When you have to take a game like Griswold Youth Football, right? When you have to take a game on a Saturday because it's too soggy and ripped up, and you got to move it to Stonington because they're available and they're on turf and no one's going to get killed or break an ankle,
Mhm.
that's one thing. That's one of the reasons there's no, okay. If it rains for 3 minutes on the high school baseball field, there's a koi pond at shortstop.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is saying that it doesn't need to be replaced. Nobody's saying that. There's
Right. No,
justification.
I'm
There's
telling you
justification.
why I
Well, yeah, because
am for it.
yeah, because of that. There's
No.
nothing. Yeah, you're for it, and I'm not saying it should not be done.
Mhm.
The only thing that concerns me is paying for it. We've got residents have so much on their back right now that I just think that, you know,
Court says the old GHS opened in 1938, which is kind of what I said right after the Riverside School,
were you the
right?
first class out of there?
Yeah, I was. You're older than me, man.
I know.
Paul went to school with Half Pint at a little house in the prairie.
Yeah.
The old GHS opened in 38.
38.
So the football field was probably built at that time, which, right, is the current soccer field.
Yeah.
So that thing's about 80 years old, 80, 90 years old.
Oh.
But where it's...
Yeah, I mean, nobody's not arguing that the fact that it should not be replaced.
Okay.
I mean, it probably should be, and you can understand the revenue coming in and all the other stuff. It's the idea is that timing, so bad timing, that's the whole issue. You know damn well when you borrow money, it's going to be up there now. Look at the infrastructure.
Mm.
Look at that's costing us, and that's still not even started yet.
Yeah.
So, and where's that extra money going to come from? I mean, we think maybe it could come from the ARPA funds. We don't know for sure, which is going to offset. At least that's what we think. I mean, it's a rumor, but nobody's really told us that.
That's just hearsay.
So we don't even know if that's true. I don't think they can use any of the ARPA funds for the field because it's not part of they can't use any of those funds. So it'd have to be, I think they could use it for the infrastructure, which would offset some of the money.
I bet they could if they wanted to.
No, they can't. I don't think they can. There's certain rules that I don't think they can use it for that. So, and this bad. I mean, go to the grocery store. I mean, go to this, go here. Christ, anything. It's just terrible. You go to the grocery store now, what do you get for $150? One bag, maybe a bag and a half. I mean,
we would go to Aldi's sometimes just to get, certain things, right? It'd be cheap, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No. I mean, I can't imagine a family of 4.
We were spending about $100 a week there, and now we're spending at about $130, $140.
So, okay. So that's just Aldi's. That's not
just Aldi's.
That's not your entire grocery bill.
No.
So then you got go other places to get your normal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're eating whatever, you're not eating good at all. I mean, there are a lot of families around that have, a couple of kids, and yeah, they work. Yeah, but they're paying out more, because now look at the price of oil.
And what
I think gas is down a little bit, aren't they? Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, gas is down. In Plainville, it was $3.11 yesterday.
So it's come down a lot. I heard
Wednesday.
I had
$3.11.
Yeah, I heard the price of a barrel went down.
Yeah,
considerably from.
Well, it's supply and demand too. It's getting colder, so more people are going to be buying more oil. So.
Well, yeah, but I thought that when they switched to the winter, they switched to making more fuel oil than making gasoline. During the summer they flip it because people drive more. So maybe you're right. Maybe just people can't afford to drive around anymore because of the price. But diesel hasn't come down, I don't think.
$4.99. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, so that's still up there.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's better than $5.50.
Yeah, which means the price of fuel oil is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't come down. So
yeah, we're just getting conditioned.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great deal. No, I was talking to my daughter about that. I was talking to Rihanna about it. I was saying, because I told her because we passed by the station, one of the stations in Plainville. Yep. Not Plainfield, but Plainville.
Plainville. Yeah. I
know. And it was because somebody will say, "Nope, there's no gas in Plainfield. That's $3.11."
Yeah. Plainville.
Right. So my daughter goes, she goes, "Well, you better gas up."
Yeah.
So I did. I mean, out here, last I saw yesterday was 339.
Yeah.
It's probably the lowest.
I bought the other day. It was like 349. So maybe it's dropped down.
It was 339 yesterday. I saw it down in Lisbon.
So it dropped. Yeah.
Which is weird, isn't it? Usually would remember back in the day, it'd go up by a penny, maybe two, down by a penny. Now it's up by a dime.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a huge difference there.
Yeah.
Than it is here.
Yeah. I mean, everything is taking a hit. 401ks are taking a hit. I mean, now that I understand they want to tax, they're going to bring your taxes up again. I think he's looking to do that, raise your taxes on certain things. I know your Social Security tax is going up next year. That you pay normally, it was at a certain fee, and then it would stop, and then you would, they raised that number up, so now you're going to pay more on Social Security tax coming out of your paycheck.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
that is awesome.
So, yeah. So, and that's the only point that I make it is that everything keeps going up.
Yeah.
And look at a lot of people's mortgages that go up. We start raising taxes now, to offset your equity that you have in your, your monthly mortgage payment. Now your mortgage payments is going to go up to offset the shortage in the taxes that you have to pay. So instead of paying $1,700 a month, now you're going to pay $2,000 a month or whatever. And that's the only point I'm making is what I'm saying. About spending money to get the ball field, because it's going to be a referendum, and people are going to have to raise taxes because you're not going to pull it out of your hat. We ain't got that kind of money in our checking account.
You know what I worry about? I worry about that people are going to just be so bitter from the referendums, from the infrastructure and the senior center, and they're going to look at this and they're going to go, oh,
yeah,
we can't do it. That kind of thing.
There's only one thing that happened out of those 3 referendums. That was the gas line.
Yeah.
The rest of them have not done. The senior said, well, finally it's going to open on the 16th.
On the 16th, yeah.
Yeah. And after all the stuff that happened with that thing.
And that place is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah. And the infrastructure, how long has that been going on? Years. Years.
What's that?
The infrastructure thing.
Yeah. 3, 4.
Like I said, we've always seemed to be behind the 8 ball when it comes to getting stuff done.
Court says sports, music, drama are vital for the school, not only attracting tuition students, which we've talked about, I've talked about before, for effectively keeping kids interested in actually going to school, which is true. If you're just doing reading, writing, and arithmetic, hooked on phonics, Phonix, if you're doing just that, who the hell wants to go? You need all those other things. And why? Let me ask you another thing. Why do you think kids are going to Killingly?
I don't know.
Do you think it's because of the grades of education?
I don't know why they go to Killingly.
It's because they want to play football.
And
if they want to play sports. I mean, Killingly is in the state finals, Class MM, on Saturday against North Haven.
And what is that going to get me?
As a resident?
No. As a kid going to Killingly to play football.
Swag, bragging rights. Yeah. We're a state champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's big to a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Maybe not to a 78-year-old.
No. I'm not looking about me. I'm talking about what is the kid going to get out of it. So he goes to Killingly and plays rights. Football.
We're better than you.
That's
that
it.
Kind of thing. Attitude, school spirit.
No, is this thought of getting into a college with a, as a free tuition to get in is about result. Now, some kids will. There's definitely some kids that are that good that'll get a free tuition by going maybe to Killingly to play football.
Scholarship. Richard just said it.
That's what I mean. The scholarship. There's some kids, but it's not.
Maybe they feel like they're not going to get recognized like Griswold.
Yeah. Okay. But it's not every kid that's going to have that opportunity. And then going to college.
No one's disagreeing that fact.
And how many kids actually go into the NFL?
I think there are a lot of kids, hardly any.
Exactly.
But I do think there are a lot of kids. Maybe, their parents think they're going to get a leg up by going there, and being a state champion or whatever.
So-
Yes, they have the VOAG program there.
So is
But-
it the kid that wants to go? Is it the parent that wants to push him to go?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
I mean, let's face it. Some parents, they have egos and they want their kids to be.
Sure.
I play football and you're going to play football.
Mhm.
But if the kid wants to go, that's the way it goes. Eventually, Griswold will have that. He'll have it. It'll come here. I'm not saying I don't think this football will never happen. It will happen.
Mhm.
It may not be tomorrow, but it'll happen.
Yeah, I think it'll happen too.
It'll happen.
I just hope it happens in the first time around. I honestly do. I mean, would I welcome the increase in taxes for that? Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you would, but there's a lot of people that won't.
Huh?
There's a lot of people that won't.
So here's something that will never happen.
What's that?
And this is where I kind of I feel, tell me if I'm right or wrong, if my thinking is right or wrong, because I
Okay.
really want to know. I just want to make sure. So let's say they have a referendum. Let's say it's going to be, I'm just spitballing $4 billion. I don't even know that that's a number or
no
even
clue.
close.
Yeah.
So number goes to referendum. They raise the money through taxes. Do they take that out of the budget once it's completed and paid for? And does your taxes go down? No.
I'm not sure how your taxes would go down.
Well, if you've raised $4 million in taxes to pay for that field, the following year, do your taxes go down, or does that money
No, I
keep
don't
coming?
think the taxes will never go down.
That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, would there be an increase? Probably not. Well, it's hard to say because no matter what we think, we know
You're still paying taxes on things that happened 20 years ago.
we're still paying off bonds.
I know.
I know we're still paying off the bond on the school roof.
On the roof. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I thought you meant the school. Like, wait a
school
minute,
roof.
it's done.
The school roof. We're still
Okay.
paying that bond. So, there are taxes are never going to go down. And this year, if you don't think taxes, unless we're going to bring the money out of something, the cost of running the town
Mhm.
is up. Let's face it. If you're feeling it in your budget, the town is definitely feeling it in theirs.
Let's see. Mr. McFadden says if Griswold youth players stayed in Griswold, let's say over the last 10 years, that would be a state title trophy in their halls. And that's a fact. And Sean, we talked about that, did we not, during the broadcast that we did together? It's true. Griswold youth football is a machine.
Mhm.
It is an absolute machine. And there are so many kids that are incredible football players that go to other places. If they stayed, what would happen? Okay. There's a kid that goes to Killingly right now. Good kid, really good kid. I talked to him a few times, talked to his parents, very nice family. Soren Reef.
Yeah.
The kid is going to get another state championship at Killingly this Saturday. He's a Griswold kid. He came through Griswold youth football. Is that not true? Okay. Bo Gear's kid, another one, but he's at a private school. So, but he's got 4-year full rides already offered to him.
Yeah. So some kids will.
You said, somebody going to go to the NBA. I mean, the NFL or something.
No, I think
This kid could go. Cole could go.
Well, I think the idea of
He's
going
different
to,
kid.
I think the idea is not necessarily getting the NFL. The idea is to get a free tuition into a college. But when you're talking about the level of like a Cole Gear, that's different. But I think that's what a lot of parents.
That's Division I right there, and then some.
Yeah, that's what a lot of parents want to see their kid, but not only in football, but in other sports as well, to get into a free tuition, to curb the price of college.
Right.
So do I think this will happen? Sure, it will. It's just going to take a little time. Don't forget, this just came up. This has only been out for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
this thought of the field. I mean, they didn't talk about it last year.
Victoria wants to know when are the town revaluations? That was last year, right? Or 2 years ago?
Last year.
Yeah.
And of course, they were valued when things were up.
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, during the crazy housing market, people was, that's when we got revaluated.
Let's get everybody out there now. Hurry up.
Now the status quo, if not dropped some. So,
and here's the other thing too. And when we talk about taxpayers, funding different programs through whatever, through taxes or whatever, you hear about people, you're saying, well, renters. Renters are paying the same stuff, kids.
They're paying through the car taxes.
Dude,
well, the renters, the landlords will be raising it.
If you owned a home that you're renting, you are collecting money that is also going to pay the taxes. And if the taxes go up, what happens? The rent's going to go up.
Absolutely.
So I never want to ever hear anything about renters.
No,
they don't.
Their landlords are going to raise.
How many times have you heard it like down at a meeting somewhere? And it's like, the renters, we should have people come in here, but
no,
if they're renting, they shouldn't be able to vote.
And you're right. The rent's going to go up because the landlords can't offset the tax increase. So everybody's going to get hit. Right. So it'll be interesting to see how the thing goes. And who knows, maybe in the meantime, something will happen. The infrastructure will get in, and maybe we'll get something along 130, 164 or 201. Maybe something will come in. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that stuff comes in, and then now you got money to play with. But all we can do is hope.
That's all we can do is hope and go multi-purpose field. Yes. Anyway. All right. Thanks for stopping on by. We had 2 people that were going to come and join us today, both canceled.
Oh, what can I tell you?
That's because we're so important.
Yeah.
Sure. That's all right. We had Josh from Channel 30 who was supposed to show up. Also canceled last minute.
Oh, he's probably looking at the snowstorm.
No.
Isn't he a real estate agent?
We got big timed.
Isn't he a real estate agent now? I think he's a real estate agent.
I believe
as well.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
They just him and his wife just had their second child too. So.
Oh, okay.
So he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming on in today. We will see you once again Monday morning. Unfortunately, Paul will be back, and
let's talk about the field again.
Oh, have a good weekend, everybody, and please be safe. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi, this is Lisa Griffin of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Well, some banks offer checking account rewards, and some banks rebate ATM withdrawal fees. At Eastern, we say, why choose? Check out our Kasasa checking accounts and find out how you can get both. For more information, visit bankeasternct.com, call us at 860-889-7381, or stop by any of our branch locations today. Eastern Connecticut Savings